Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be changing the oil in this 2013 ML350. That applies to any ML350 and GLE between the years of 2012 and 2018, all right? So I'm going to show you what you'll need and exactly what to do so you can do it yourself and save a bundle of money, all right? Let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is the oil filter, and you can pick this up on any auto parts store. I go to FCP Euro. You just put your model in there and it'll tell you exactly what you need. This is OEM, this is what it looks like. It's gonna have the gasket, it's gonna have this one here and this one over there as well. Next thing, get some shop towels. You're gonna need that because you don't want any fibers getting in the engine. You're gonna need 8 quarts of this European car formula 0W40. So I got a Walmart and these things are still 25 bucks. Awesome deal. You're not gonna find a better deal anywhere. Grab an 8mm socket and a 13mm socket for the actual oil plug. Grab some cardboard so you can lay on it so you don't get filthy. Grab an oil pan and some cardboard under there so you don't make a mess. Just make sure you have a big enough drain pan so you don't spill over, all right? We're also gonna need a funnel as well. For lifting the car, you could use the jack and jack stands, but I picked these up at Harbor Freight. These are the portable ramps here. Each one is 6,500 pound capacity. So ride it up there and you've got plenty of clearance to work. All right, that's it. And just use plenty of lighting. So grab one of these as well and you should be fine. After you drive those up the ramp, put on the parking brake. You'll see the brake come on. And make sure you chock the wheel on both sides. So you got one there and you get one there as well. So 2 chocks. So it can't roll forward or backwards. You can pick those up at Harbor Freight as well. So it's time to go into the car, put some eyewear on so you do not get stuff in your eye because you're gonna be looking up at the bottom of the vehicle. So there's a lot of debris, rocks, dust is gonna fall into your eyes if you're not wearing these protections. Grab a light and we're gonna look up at the plate here. You're gonna use an 8mm socket for these and there are 8 altogether. So there's one here and one over here. There's one there. There, so dark, there, and then in the back, you can see it, they're a little recessed, is back underneath there, and back underneath there. Just take them out, pull this off. Putting it back is a little bit more difficult. So just get your drill in 8mm and pull these out, real simple. Just do each one. All right, so we're looking in the front of the car. Just grab this here. Just grab the front. Pull it down, just kind of push it in a little bit. Pull it down, and then pull it out. It'll come right out. So if you're gonna be laying there, don't leave these things out because they're sharp and they will give you a nice little piercing. You don't want that type of piercing. All right, coming from the front of the car, after you take the shield off, you will see the drain plug. And the drain plug is right there. Okay, this is the drain plug. It's gonna take a 13mm. We're gonna loosen that, but before we loosen it, we're gonna make sure that we've got the drain pan ready to go. This is a 16 quart. Again, Harbor Freight, easy. Just have that ready to go because I'm sure, well, maybe this is your first time, but if it's not, this is gonna shoot out pretty far. So don't just put it underneath it because it's gonna shoot out quite a bit. So just sort of adapt for the trajectory of it. And then it'll, as it gets less pressure, it's not gonna shoot as far. So let's turn this counterclockwise with a 13mm wrench. You can use a breaker bar for this, but if you use two hands, you can just usually use a normal ratchet. Okay, so I loosened it up there. We're gonna pull this pan out because this is going to shoot a little further than you might expect. All right, so get your glove on. You wanna warm the car up too a little bit, maybe for like 5 minutes, just to get the oil nice and warm. You don't want it to get scorching hot because you don't wanna burn yourself. Wear a nice pair of gloves too. You don't wanna make a mess or burn yourself. But all right, so we're gonna take it out by hand after we loosen it up. And remember, pull the pan out a little bit because it's gonna shoot out. I'll show you, I'll try to get you. There you go, see that? See if you can see the trajectory of that. Pretty cool. Stinks up and fierce too. So, we'll clean that up. Put the screw down on the cardboard and let that drain out. Okay, so we're back on top of the car. So we're gonna take two hands or one hand, whatever you need, and we're gonna take this piece off, right? So you just lift up here and lift up in the back here, and you can take this off. Two hands is much easier. So you take that piece off, put it somewhere where you'll remember where you put it. And now we're gonna find oil filter casing, that's right here. We're gonna need a wrench to take that off. I like this thing, it's great. It goes right onto a ratchet. So you just grab this here like this and you twist it. Using this thing always just grabs it and it comes right off. This thing, it works like a charm. I don't remember where I got this. I think it was probably Harbor Freight, but could have been anywhere. But yeah, works the first time. All right, so we're gonna loosen the rest of it with our hand after we get the initial torque off that, and then we're gonna lift this up and have paper towels around so we can not drip it all over our engine. And as you can see, the oil filter is inside the casing. We're gonna bring this over and switch it out for the new one. But before we do that, we're gonna clean the casing out as best we can. And then we're gonna go over here and using shop towels, not paper towels, but shop towels. We're gonna clean all the excess oil out of this as best we can. We're gonna clean this up, all the residual old oil out of there. Again, I stress, use shop towels because you don't wanna use paper towels because it has residuals and residue that can get into the engine. Nice and clean. I can clean that a little bit more. I'll get that even cleaner. Taking the old oil filter out of this thing, it's gonna pop. So you're gonna pull it. It's gonna feel like it's not moving. It doesn't wanna move. You're not gonna break it. Pull it as hard as you can. It'll pop out. And then you will clean inside the casing here. And then you'll put the new oil filter in. Again, do the same. I just did the housing here. Do the same for the casing here. Clean that thoroughly. Get all of that old residual oil out of there. All right, so now you wanna take the gasket off the housing. So without damaging this, be careful. Just grab a hook or something. Pull this off. Very simple. Very simple. It's a lot easier with two hands, but take that off like that. We're gonna clean that up as well, and then we're gonna replace that with the new one. We took some new oil and we'll dip our finger on that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll rub it all over the new gasket. Okay, we're gonna rub all the new oil all over the new gasket, create that nice seal on there. And also there's another gasket, a smaller one. Manor always comes with it on. Some other companies don't, so you'll find this smaller gasket that you just got to put on yourself, but Man's already on there for you. Okay, so we'll just put that in place. There you go. So now it's lubed up with the new oil. It's in place. There's no debris on it. And this is all cleaned up, as you can see inside of it. And so is this. This is all cleaned up as well. Okay, so now you're gonna put the new oil filter inside the housing, and you're gonna push down. Just as you pulled it out and it clicked up, you'll feel it click in when you push in. Easy peasy. You're just gonna put this right inside there like this, and you are going to screw it back in. You don't wanna over tighten it, but you wanna, once you can't tighten it anymore with your hand, you wanna give it like 1/4 of a turn with a wrench. And I know that's a little subjective because people are stronger than others, but you get the gist. And I use a wrench like this to tighten it. different from the wrench I used to loosen it. Okay, so just grab it and turn it clockwise. Okay, so we're back under the car. We have the drain plug and we've got the oil pan. It's all drained out. We're gonna thread this in with our fingers because we don't want to cross thread this. That would be really bad. So once we get this in with our fingers and torque with our fingers, then we're gonna take our 13 millimeter again and tighten it up. Again, the crush washer underneath it, I'm using the same one. You don't need a different one. You don't want to crush this thing. You're just going to tighten it up. You're not going to squash it. Okay, you're not mushrooming it. You don't want to over tighten it as well. Now we're going to put the cover on underneath. So grab this and we'll put this on here. Remember, you have to pull it out from that other cover underneath. So we're going to slide this underneath, and then everything should line up perfectly. So we're gonna push this in under there, and then we'll just pry that on in the front. So now putting this on, you just want to make sure that it's snug in the back. You dip that underneath that lip of the other cover first, and then you come over here, and then you dip it down in the front. And once you do that, you line up the holes, then it'll stay by itself. You just hit each of the 8 screws, okay? And that's it. So just a side note, notice how careful I was, cleaning everything, getting all the residual oil out of there, making sure it was as clean as possible, less contaminants are gonna go back into it. Think about that the next time you bring your car to the shop. They're not gonna take that good care of your car. It's not their car, it's just human nature. So you're gonna take better care of your car, and you're gonna save money doing it. So I do advise you doing this yourself. It's gonna prolong the life of your car, that's for sure. Now it is time to add more oil to your car. So here's your oil cap here. Twist that counterclockwise, take that off. And again, we are going to take a shop towel and just wipe the residuals around that. We're just trying to get all the contaminants that we can possibly get. And we do not wanna bring anything into the engine as well, like any type of dust particles or tree pollen or anything like that. Okay, wipe this off too. And then we're gonna take the funnel, and I just wiped this funnel down as well, and we're gonna put that in there like this. And then we're gonna get European car Formula 0 W40. So you're gonna put in the full 5 liters here, or the full 5 quarts. And on the next one, we're putting in about 7 or 8. But we'll see how much it's gonna take. Okay, now I'm gonna add another 2 quarts. Okay, that was 7. All right, so I'm gonna put the oil cap back in place. Start the car and roll it off the ramp. And then we'll check the dipstick, which is back there, and we'll see what it looks like and if we need to add oil. Remember, taking it off the ramp, you want to remove the chocks, obviously, front and back. You're going to take the emergency brake off that we put on, and then we're going to unhook everything from the car. You don't want any careless accidents. Okay, so we ran the engine for about 5 minutes, and we are going to pull the dipstick and check out the level on there. All right, so now we're gonna put the cover back on. So just fit that hole over the oil cap, and this flushes up here. Push down there, and it's all on flush. All right, guys, we're all done with this oil change in this Mercedes Benz ML350, and I ended up adding an extra half quart after I ran the engine a little bit more. So check on that. It ended up to be about 7.5, 8 quarts altogether, a little less than 8 quarts. I'm gonna go reset the service now. If you want directions on how to reset the service, see my other video. There'll be a link at the end about now, and you can go on and check that out. Hope you like this. If so, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.